Today, we're wrapping up our thoughts on all things identity.
So we've got a few final thoughts on identity and a little bit of a farewell, but don't worry, it's not forever.
One of our proudest business accomplishments is what we've been able to do with Squeeze In franchising.
The Squeeze In is a breakfast lunch restaurant featuring the best omelets on the planet, and it's been around for almost 50 years. And now you can have a Squeeze in your community.
We've seen how this business transformed our families, and now we are so excited to offer this to families around the country to see how this little restaurant might change their family and their community.
If you're wondering how to set up your adult children for legacy and success through a small business, then the Squeeze In is an option we urge you to consider. Come find out more about Squeeze In franchising at squeezein.com.
You're enjoying this episode on Angel Phoenix Productions Podcast Network. To explore a complete lineup of quality programs and media production services, head on over to angelphoenix.com or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Angel Phoenix Productions.
Okay, a couple of things we wanted to bring forward. I want to call them like speed bumps. Yeah, so speed bumps we want you to watch out for on the path of identity. Well, we have a new metaphor every week, man.
Oh man, identity formation. As you're forming that new identity for you and you're going down the road, there are definitely bumps, there are challenges, there are obstacles. And one of them is as you begin to change your identity, so too do your habits and your behaviors, and so too does your personality. And when those things begin to happen, when your new personality emerges and your new habits emerge and your new behaviors emerge, the people that you've been hanging out with don't always necessarily jive with or agree with the changes that you're making. And it can create some conflict that if you're not prepared for it, can sometimes result in backing down from the new identity and reverting back to that level that they expect you to be at.
Well, when we as humans come together, especially in groups or in pairs, what often happens is that we bond over the things that make us similar. And so if you have identity traits that are similar to the person who is closest to you and your identity begins to change, remember that we get squeezed when our identity starts to get threatened. So when your identity changes and their identity stays the same, it threatens their state, which means that person gets squeezed and their juice is going to come out how their identity is filtering that juice, and your juice is going to come out how your identity filters that juice. Now, like Shyla said, this might make you turn back into the same exact level of orange juice that you were at before. Or sometimes it even means that you move away from that person in your life, and the identity shifts in you create such identity dissonance with that person or group that you can no longer be together.
Right? You change orange barrels, right? You got to get yourself surrounded by some new oranges, which is one tip we want to make sure you know, that as you go to form a new identity or new habit structure, allowing yourself to have support system and belonging with some kind of community that has a shared desire in that same direction can tremendously help you be successful in this area. Whether it's a weight loss group or a running group or a book club mastermind or a cohort through a master's degree program, utilizing the support of others who are on the same path as you can help ensure your success.
You know, recently we had someone approach us after a speaking engagement and they said, I forgot that there were people in the world who think like me. And so this is just such a ring to this principle that when you surround yourselves, you get yourself into that new barrel with juice that matches your own, that these habits are more likely to stick. The identity that you create as the ideal version of yourself is more likely to come to fruition as those things get reinforced.
Now, as we sort of wrap up here on identity, we hope that this has been a fun topic for you to consider and think about. We definitely encourage you to fill out what comes after I am for you in as many ways as you possibly can, with lots of empowering descriptors and describers. Make it clear, make it powerful, and make it your own so that you can own it and encode it into yourself. And that's something that we're very passionate about doing. And we'll bring you more on this topic. But speaking of more and when you'll get more from us, we are getting close to the end of the year here in the holiday season, and the Kay and Shi Show is going to take a little 3-week break here so that we can be with our families and do a little regrouping.
Yep, we're going on winter holiday. We hope that you do the same exact thing. Look, bears hibernate. People slow down in the winter. Bees hibernate. I actually learned that recently. Bees hibernate.
I didn't know
and
that.
they slow down in the winter as well. So use this as your opportunity to let your tide recede. Give yourself the opportunity to maybe plant some new seeds or think about the seeds that you want to plant, to shape this identity, to write your goals for the future, to understand who you want to become. Many people don't even start to do this kind of work until January 1st or beyond. But it's really the next 2 weeks where you're going to get the best opportunity to set yourself up for future success. And we hope to be there right alongside you. So we will be back with episodes on January 9th. We've got some really fun things, some traditions. Every year, Shyla hosts the most adorable Christmas cookie decorating party. And then the next night, we get to do something pretty fun.
We do our sisters' time together, unwrapping gifts, having some family time, watching White Christmas and family movies, puzzles for sure.
Yep.
Always a good time. So we're looking forward to those traditions. We hope you're looking forward to your traditions. We hope for you that you have peace in your life, that you have love in your relationships, that you have excitement in your future, that your heart is full of gratitude, and that your spirit is on fire for what's to come. We're so grateful to get to be your sisters alongside you on this journey. And we are excited to get to see you next year. Don't forget that this is always coming at you with love from your sisters, Kay and Shi.
This podcast was a production of Angel Phoenix Productions. Explore more episodes of this show or other great shows on the Angel Phoenix Podcast Network by visiting angelphoenix.com. The views expressed in this show do not necessarily represent those of Angel Phoenix Productions or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.